Ever since I was young, I loved fusions. Characters, concepts, Pokemon, dragons, creatures, cookies. I could go on. And since I'm a digital artist and part of the CookieRun fandom, I decided to try my hand on fusions. I've done a few in the past, but I didn't really like how they came out, especially habanero cheese cookie. So when I found this grid chart by Fluffy Waffle on Tumblr, I decided it was now my time to try again. This is a chart for either fusions or ship kits with the Cookie Run Kingdom Beast cookies and Ancient cookies. I'm fusing these 10 characters into 25 new cookies and testing myself on how I execute them. I've already done 3 suggested by my partners, and they're going to be shown here. I'm really excited to explain the process and do more, so let's get to it. So my first suggested fusion was with Dark Cacao Cookie and Burning Spice Cookie. They're not opposites, but their similarities made me think they were easy to fuse. And honestly, not as easy as I thought. I was working with a new brush as well, so I struggled with this, but it did click well. Since this cookie is a mix of chocolate and spice, it was pretty easy to find a name and theme since spice and chocolate are pretty common, especially mixed together. I just had to find some name after some research. So this is Mayan Chocolate Cookie. Mayan chocolate is the common name for spicy chocolate since it's a drink made from cacao and chili peppers or other ground spices. Given that both dark cacao and burning spice are charge type cookies and are offensive defenders, combining those elements was certainly fun. Some of my favorite parts of Mayan chocolate cookies design was mixing dark cacao sword with burning spice's axe just to make a pointier axe, and mixing their soul jams a similar way that Steven Universe fusions do, where the colors of both mix together. Partly into this design, I wanted to make sure this wasn't just some differently colored burning spice. So I took some elements from Dark Cacao's Berserk form from the final boss fight of episode 14. Mainly in the cloud-like shapes, I changed the tattoos to resemble. I think my least favorite was the crown because I struggled to draw Dark Cacao's crown quite a bit. I wanted to combine it with Burning Spice's antennae. Side note, did anyone know that was his antennae? I just learned while scripting this video. Anyway, that was a good start to the series. On to fusion number 2. This one was really fun to conceptualize. White Lily Cookie and Shadow Milk Cookie are interesting characters. Something I tried here and in future fusions was finding common ground among the cookies and diving into their inspirations to figure out new elements. Here, I noted how white lilies are actual toxic flowers, and I decided to look at other toxic flowers and plants. Then I found the nightshade. Both its berry and flower have the perfect colors and vibes to be the perfect flavor for this fusion. The nightshade reminds me of the theories and concepts of Shadow Milk once being the Blueberry Academy's founder, and people making designs based off that, like Blueberry Yogurt Cookie. I love that design, by the way. I struggled a lot more with the initial sketch because trying to find a good vibe that captured both of them was hard, but I eventually found a pose that captured a sense of mysticism and deceit I feel Nightshade Cookie gave to me. My favorite part was the hair because I found a really beautiful picture of Nightshade that had the exact color I wanted. And the purple of the flowers and the berries were a great middle ground for White Lily's green and Shadow Milk's blue and black. Mixing the colors of this soul jams made me giggle because one of them started to look like the Eye of Ender to me, and the yellow accents from the stamen of the Nightshade was just too perfect. Now on to fusion number 3. So, I dreaded this one a little. One of my original cookie fusions was a fusion of golden cheese and burning spice. I named them habanero cheese cookie, and the final design was way too complex, and I made the background just as busy, making it hard to see what was their wings and what wasn't. So I wanted to fix this after one of my partners suggested fusing these two. Now, I struggled way more initially. I wanted to find something that could meld these two well, so I looked at their mythological and religious inspirations. Golden cheese is very Egyptian inspired, and her awakened form references the sun god Ra from Egyptian mythology. Burning Spice is very Hindu inspired, and his titles in prior form as the Herald of Change reference the Hindu god Shiva. But there's also speculation his opposition to golden cheese can reference the mythology of Ra fighting the chaos serpent Apophis. So I wanted to play more into that myth with a cookie with wings and a tail, but I struggled. Until I did some more research on Shiva and found this. The Sharaba. Sharaba? It's a form Shiva took to pacify an avatar Vishnu, Narashima. This form is said to have 2 heads, a set of wings, 8 legs, and is part lion. This avatar gave me inspiration I needed to redo habanero cheese cookie, so this design had more of a bull tail than a lion tail because Shiva has a well-known bull mount called Nandi. I also saw many depictions of Shiva with a trident, and it felt appropriate to give habanero cheese a trident since it would also mix Golden Cheese's spear and Burning Spice's axe into something reminiscent of a trident. I had such a fun time drawing her with all these features. Also, habanero cheese gave me all the vibes of being she/her, but I didn't exactly have the proper idea on how to have Burning Spice's soul jam and markings while also covering her chest. But cookies don't really have breasts, and Golden Cheese never exactly had the best chest covering either. So that was the first triage of cookie fusions. But it doesn't end there. I'm going to leave the remaining options to anyone who sees this video. Comment your next idea, and if it has the most likes, I'll do it. I'll be doing 3 fusions per video. And yeah, that's not an even division, but that's why I'm throwing in a surprise. As you probably saw, Fluffy Waffles Grid had a free row for 2 extra characters to add into the fray. Once all 25 Beast+Ancient fusions are designed, I'm going to add 2 mystery characters and make 11 more fusions. I'll remind you all again on the last episode of the 25 base fusions. I hope you loved this video, subscribe if you did, share this video with others, and support me on my Ko-Fi. I do commissions for a variety of fandoms, and if you input the code PRIDEFLAG, you'll get a 15% discount on any commission with a pride flag of your choice added into the piece. Have a great week. You can do anything.